Heyo. And welcome back. It's great to be back. So what about that Pope? Oh man, everybody is talking about that today, right? The Pope, El Papa, as we call him in Spanish. What does that mean, by the way, El Papa? It means a potato. Weird. But, well, a lot of people are talking about this whole gay thing about the Pope, gay priests, as if we never had any gay priests. We had plenty of gay priests. I think I dated a gay priest once. I don't know. I'm not dated, but I fucked one, I think. I know he was gay, definitely, but I don't know if he was a priest. Maybe he was. There were so many clues, you know. I'm not gonna go over the clues. I've already been in trouble so many times. But this whole bit is not really a big deal for a lot of people, and I understand, especially for those who are anti-gay in the Catholic Church. Well, it's not their day. They're having a bad week, with all that. Well, a bad month. How about a bad year? Having a bad year with all the Supreme Court cases and all this other shit, what's going on, and passing gay marriage in Delaware, Rhode Island, and in Minnesota. Oh yeah, that happened today, right? Minnesota now has gay marriage. Good for them, whatever. Have a happy, miserable life. Why are straight people always saying that? It's okay, if you want to be miserable like us. I don't know, we're not that miserable. Are we? I don't think we are. I think the gay guys and the gay girls, the lesbians that really want to get married, they're the ones who are not that miserable. They are miserable, but they're able to cope with it. Life's not supposed to be, a breeze, I think. Life is full of misery. That's the reality of fact. But this whole Pope thing is, for me, yes, it's blown out of proportion, because I knew from the get-go that this Pope was going to be a little different. Now, the Pope Francis, I don't think he's able to come out and do a It Gets Better video and all that bullshit. He won't be able to do that, of course not. But I know somebody who's very close to the Catholic hierarchy in Mexico, and I talked to him a few days ago before this whole Pope thing, and he's talking about how there's a lot of dissent within the cardinals and the bishops, but not a big old schism. The gay issue is not really something that's going to break up the church. And what he says, and what he tells me is, and I think this is true, unlike other churches, the Catholic Church is going to accept gay people as they are. And there are various theories as to how that's going to happen, but who cares? But I do know, and I have that hunch, that later on the Catholic Church will turn around and do the right thing. And so a few people are making a big deal about this, and they should, because it is a really important time in the history of the LGBT movement, I guess, when the Pope finally said the word gay in Spanish. And he was able to talk about this nonchalantly. And I like this Pope because he's very nonchalant. He's not that pompous like Ratzinger, that evil, satanic little troll Ratzinger. And Pope Francis, well, he's a little bit different. He's actually being a pope. Ratzinger was still being he was still a cardinal. And the other pope, Pope John Paul II? God, that guy was the worst. That guy had an agenda to go after the communists and all this bullshit, vendettas, and I mean, and he let go so much of what he's supposed to be doing that the church became corrupted. That's why you have all these issues with pedophiles and all this bullshit. Here's the thing, though, with the Pope now. He's saying to us, I don't judge gay people or gay priests in this situation. He's saying, who am I to judge? That's the exact quote, right? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, who are you to judge but the Pope, alright? But even as a Pope, he's not able to judge. And that's a good signal to a lot of the bishops, cardinals, and especially the bishops and the cardinals in the United States and in Europe. These are the crazy ones. And the one in Haiti, the one in the Dominican Republic, the crazy quacks that we have in the Catholic Church, saying the most stupidest, craziest bullshit that you can ever imagine. Yeah, we have a lot of reactionaries in the Catholic Church, and now you have bishops embracing libertarianism and saying, government shouldn't help people and help the disadvantaged and those who cannot help themselves. The mentally ill, the orphan children, and that to me is not really a good idea. But there are bishops in the United States who believe that, contrary to Catholic teaching on social justice. So I think there's a lot of things that need to be happening, and I know that a lot of gay people, these human rights campaign and all these other quacks, not quacks, but the hacks. I mean, that's what they are. What they're saying is, oh, this is great, yeah. But you don't seem to get it. The Catholic Church is one church, and it's a very authoritarian church, meaning that there's one governing body, and that's the Vatican. And you have these other Protestant little churches running around in Brazil. I mean, that's where he was, right? The Pope. And some of these little Protestant reactionary churches, they hate the Catholic Church, but they also hate gay people with more vigor. And to try to turn those around, those little armies, those little cells of repudiated homophobia, it's going to be so difficult to try to turn around little broken up cells of Protestant churches that meet up in these empty offices and sit on these folding chairs. Now, it's a lot easier to go to an established church like the Catholic Church with one authoritarian governing body, which is the Vatican, one head of state, which is the Pope, and have that change so we can change a church right off the bat. In unison, right? That would be a lot easier to implement a change to be more pro-gay. Now, is the church pro-gay now? No, it's not. As far as gay rights and all that kind of stuff. But what this is saying is that the Pope is not really giving a shit. I mean, I think that's what the message was, is that he doesn't really want this to be the defining issue for him, for his legacy. And a lot of these popes think about their legacy. What are they going to leave behind when they turn in their sneakers? What do they do on this planet before they go to the pearly gates of heaven and meet St. Peter? What will be their legacy? And I don't think Pope Francis wants to be remembered like Ratzinger. Ratzinger is going to be remembered as the most vile and vicious, reactionary, pedophile enabler that we've ever seen. A criminal, a violator of human rights, everything that you can imagine. And he was a dupe for the European cartel, the Italian mob. That's why right now, this Pope Francis is having a hard time to reform the Catholic Church, to reform the Vatican Bank and all that. So, but he's talking about gay priests in this situation, though, right? Gay priests are not allowed to have sex. So, I don't think they should have a sexual orientation, right? Isn't that the thing? Priests don't have a sexual orientation technically because they're asexual. They're supposed to be hermits, never have an erection. I wonder what would happen if a priest, because I think I slept with a priest once, and I didn't have the guts to ask him if he was a priest or anything because I felt weird at the time. But he was a nice guy, though. He was a Latino man. He very handsome guy, very intelligent, and I think he was a priest or was becoming a priest. That's what I heard later on after I slept with him. But the thing is that Catholic priests are supposed to be hermits. They're not supposed to have a sexual orientation. But what I'm really curious is what happens when they wake up in the morning, they have a heart on, they have a morning wood. Hey, you know how I get rid of it, right? Because you're not allowed to masturbate either. Isn't that kind of, I don't know, that's really creepy. I mean, in a way, the church is trying to figure out what you're doing sexually. As long as you're not molesting kids, I mean, that's what they should be. Going after these pedophiles and stop them. And throw them in jail, where they should be. But no, they don't want to do that. They want to go after the gays and all that. That's the Ratzinger approach. The Ratzinger, John Paul II. Two doofuses of modern time. And so, okay, fine, And here's the thing about this Pope, a gay priest situation. And that is that a lot of these Catholics or Christians, even just regular Christians who don't go to church, normal people, I guess. These people are gonna now have their worldview, their paradigm about this issue shifted and changed because of what the Pope has said. Now, these are the people who I think you can call are in purgatory. I guess you can say that. Purgatory as far as gay issues is concerned. And now with this comment, I guess they might be able to think twice about things, The rest of us don't give a shit because you either are really anti-gay and you might want to dismiss this as, oh, whatever, he's just trying to be nice kind of thing. Or you're pro-gay and you're saying, see, I told you this Pope, he's different. He's pro-gay and he doesn't judge gay people. He's okay with you being gay and a priest. Alright? And so, whatever, I guess that will be okay. And a lot of Catholics are happy about that. Well, good for them. That's their issue. I have nothing against many of the Catholic teachings, but this whole sexual morality, this whole fetish with reproduction in the fetus, and I know why they do that, because it goes back, all the way back to ancient Samaria. I mean, these religions date back to that era in ancient Samaria, where they worshipped fish gods and they worshipped other gods, reproductive gods. They worshipped the penis, the vagina. They worshipped semen. They had orgies and all that bullshit. Oh, you don't believe me? Do your homework. Alright? Pretty simple. But go back to history, you'll know why the Catholic Church is so much invested in the fetuses, but not in the babies, by the way. They're fetuses, but not babies. And the other reasons why I believe that they're into that kind of shit. But it has to do with, it's a ritual, it's a religious fetish, a ritual. It has nothing to do with life. Now, they say, these anti-abortionists, they say, oh, we're pro-life. No, you're not. Because if you're pro-life, you'll support, programs that help kids grow up to be good adults. Instead of saying, oh, let's cut their food stamps and all that. Because that's good. Well, there you have it. I don't know about this Pope, but he's okay, I guess. But just to let you all know, the Pope needs to probably jump back, and he might say a few things to quiet down the traditionalists. But what I'm gathering here is, he's gonna have to say something anti-gay, like, oh, marriage is only for a man and woman, and gay people will blah blah blah, the same old spiel. But I think that this Pope is not gonna do that. I think because what I'm gathering is that a lot of people, the traditionalists, the conservatives, their real problems with the church is the way mass is being done. Like they want to have Latin mass and traditional outfits and all these other things, traditional rituals, and that's what people in the Catholic Church are more kind of fighting over right now. Not this gay thing, but I don't know. I think that we might not hear that much from this Pope regarding gay issues. I don't know. I mean, I may be wrong. But I had a hunch that this Pope wasn't going to be as bad as we imagined. Although, it's kind of sad that we always have to assume that a Pope will be acting in a very suspicious manner. But that's how the church now operates. The church has been very abusive and very fascistic. And that's how it is. But at least we have a hope, right? Hope? Look, I don't care about this particular church because what I believe is no church can ever tell you what the universe is and what the secrets of the universe contain. Can never tell you that. No Bible thumper or gospel preacher or some DL down low brother with the Bible preaching from the pulpit in a black church is ever going to tell you the secrets of the universe. The Bible doesn't have the secrets of the universe. It's not the Word of God. Anybody with a reasonable brain and a reasonable consciousness will know that. Because if it was the Word of God, the real God, I'm not talking about some jealous, sociopath that describes himself as a God in the Bible, because that's a whole different story. The real God, or gods, that created this universe, we don't know. The Bible doesn't tell us how the universe was created. The Bible doesn't tell us nothing about any formulas, equations, laws of gravity, or how matter works, or gravity works, how light works, how do we discover free energy. All these secrets of the universe, how it was created, the black holes, where does intelligence come from? How does it begin? How did the first cell develop to be a human being? All it says is that Eve came out of Adam's rib. What is that? That's not really that's the hell is that? Some sort of a cannibalistic cartoon, or what is that, a commercial for an ancient McRib sandwich? I don't know. Oh man. But a lot of people believe that shit, and oh well, what can you do? Nothing, I guess.